you. Our next Miss Caricom contestant is, are you ready? Judges, how you doing back there? We have another one of those. Miss Ashley.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I have a flair for the dramatic. Um, my name is Ashley Oliver, and tonight I will be representing the beautiful land of Trinidad and Tobago. And I'll be sharing a poem with you that I wrote to describe, my life struggles with depression. And I'm dedicating this to anybody who has ever battled with depression. The title is called, thank you so much. The title is called, Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. What do you think when you see me presently? Maybe she's smart, she's focused, she knows her identity. Maybe she's getting her life together. Maybe she's on the rise. But look at me at 16, and you might be thinking otherwise. To go inside that girl's image all those years ago would reveal a story she once said she'd never show. Anxiety, fear, and depression once consumed her, and having to step out into the world, well, that only added to her terror. School never provided any comfort or pleasure, because when you don't love you, who else would deem you a treasure? Depression became her shell. Depression became her own personal hell. Depression took the form of 100 pounds of stress weight. Depression was the mirror image she grew to hate. Depression almost drove her in front of a car. Depression was once her deepest of scars. One thing I'll bet you can't see is the force of depression caused her to drop out and get her GED. For years, she lay on a couch filled with stress and anxiety. No direction, no confidence, no identity. The real her remained in a cocoon just waiting to be free. But who else could free her besides me? After years on an emotional roller coaster, she took a leap of faith. She promised God she'd been here for 7 years and she wouldn't make it an 8th. Once she sought out counseling, she began to feel renewed. This is when the beautiful butterfly started to push through. Her mentors pushed her to go to school, a place she thought she'd never step back into. But higher learning gave her an unexpected power, making her a purpose-driven, motivated tower. This former average student who could barely make the grade, now a straight A student with summa cum laude following her name. She discovered she was a writer, director, and poet, shedding 90 pounds of the stress weight, which never was a part of her. Directed her first play this year and eager to do more, likely to be the case because they desired an encore. A fighter she was, though she had no black and blues, her scars were on the inside, all emotional wounds. Despite her demise, she dusted off and began to rise. She said enough was enough. It's time to speak up. It's time to love me. It's time to embrace my true identity. She now sees the strength and beauty in her eyes because the tears flushed away all the lies. And though she may not know where her life will take her, I know without a doubt I'll continue to be a winner. My story brings me to this point. Anxiety and depression disorders affect 40 million people ages 18 and up in the United States. That's 18.1% of our population. And only 36.9% receive treatment. Approximately 1 in every 12 people in this country battles depression every day. I'm just one example that depression does not have to define anyone. It was a moment in time, not the deciding factor of my life. Depression was a cocoon of darkness, but speaking up and asking for help was the first step of self-acceptance, self-love, and inner peace. I'm thankful to God, my mentors, and my family who helped me during this dark period of my life. I made the decision to come up here and speak about this because so many people battle depression every single day, and they need a voice to advocate for them. There should be no shame in speaking about mental health issues. However, there is a stigma, a sense of disgrace associated with the topic of mental health in our communities, and that really needs to come to an end. We're so used to keeping these things behind closed doors, confined to the four walls of our homes. But people are hurting, and many of them are experiencing depression and don't know where to turn or may not even realize that they're experiencing depression. There's no weakness in admitting I need help. Too many people are resorting to self-hatred, self-mutilation, and suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, let's start talking about depression and mental health issues. Our lives tend to depend on it. I'm wearing this graduation gown not only because I've graduated from college, but because it represents my graduation from a former mindset. From the mindset of fear to faith, from self-hatred to self-love, and from confusion to peace. And finally, I ask each and every person to take a look at the person beside you. And I ask you to remember, don't judge a book by its cover. Rather, let's not make assumptions about our neighbor. Let's be kinder with our words and with our actions, because you never know the struggle or the story they hold within. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Thank you.